Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the mid-September 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Taurus. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you with any intuitive messages that I receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, that helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. Also, I do recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on for you this month, Taurus. But that being said, let's go ahead and jump in and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close, the last few weeks or month. Column number 2, we're going to take a look at just general what's coming through the end of September. We're also going to do a money column, a love column, and the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. So something to carry into the remainder of the month. We're also going to do 3 yes or no questions, take a look at your crystal of the month, and do a healing note. But let's see here. Again, column number 1, what's wrapping up and coming to a close. We have the card Space. Space is an interesting card. This is really about giving yourself or someone else the space that they need. This is time to heal, time to process, time to think. And again, this could be you taking time for you or you allowing somebody else to have that space too. But let's see what messages, Taurus, we've got coming underneath the Space card here for you. The first card that we have is the King of Swords. The King of Swords is very intentional, very strategic, very long-term. This is like some long-term serious planning, where you want to go. We're talking like 5-year goals or longer. Kind of big next move seems to be what's coming top of mind here, Taurus, or what you were thinking about or planning for these last few weeks. The interesting thing with the King of Swords too is this is like a card of seeking professional help. So you could have like met with a financial planner or a lawyer or a fitness coach, whatever it may be, whatever this long-term thing is you've been working on. You could have gotten some professional support there too. The next card we have is the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is very resourceful. It's interesting to see this paired with Space. People think that taking time or space is a bad thing when it's not. I mean, the Queen of Pentacles is about being resourceful with the resources you have. It's using your time for you, using your energy for you. So I feel like this time, this space, whether you took it for yourself or gave it to somebody else, was really meaningful. That's coming through as it was a good use of your resources. This is also a very domestic card, so this could be an indicator of a relationship or fertility as well for some of you. At the bottom here, we have the 9 of Wands. The 9 of Wands is a card of keeping and maintaining boundaries. It's also a card of persistence. In terms of boundaries, if you take a look at this card, this person didn't build a fence around them, or excuse me, didn't build a wall around them. They built more of a fence. And it's that ability to filter things in that you need and want and keep those other things out. And this goes kind of back to your resources. It's like being clear on what you're going to give energy to or what you're going to give resources to and what you're not going to give energy and resources to. So really this time and space seemed very valuable for you these last few weeks. Let's clarify though and see what other messages are here, Taurus. The first card that we have is the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is a card of truth or finding out information. I feel like you found out something, and that's why, again, we're future planning or we're seeking out that professional help. Like, this is probably not a relevant example, but just to provide an example, like you may have found out your car had a recall on it and therefore you go and take it to get serviced. Or I hope this isn't the case for any of you, but let's say you found out you had a heart problem and now we are going to a wellness or health coach to start planning proactively forward. We kind of had to take a step back with that Space card process. Or maybe you're in a situation where you found out the truth and now you need to go to get legal support or some sort of lawyer. But it does, again, it seems like you found something out that's then prompting this King of Swords action. Then here we have the Knight of Cups. We were talking about there could be a new relationship for some of you. Definitely that love energy was strong these last few weeks or months. This Knight of Cups is Prince or Princess Charming, Knight in Shining Armor type energy, very romantic proposal, marriage-like. So very good love cards paired here. This could come in a form of friendship too. It's not always all about a lover situation. And at the bottom here we have the World card. The World card is a card of completion. It's an ending. It's completing a goal, completing a lesson. It's closing the door to open something new. And this is good. Whatever this incident was, of course, again, hoping, like I said, it wasn't the scenario where you had the heart issue or anything like that. This gave you the time to take a step back, process, and again, this is about being more resourceful with our resources. So these boundaries and this knowing of how you want to spend your time, your energy, your money, your happiness, whatever it may be, was really valuable here. And it's essentially opening a new chapter for you. So really meaningful stuff that's happened these last few weeks, Taurus. Now let's take a look at our next column though, which is just general, what's coming through the end of September. We have the card preservation. This goes kind of nice what we were just talking about with our resources. This is about preserving your resources, making sure you're spending them the way you want to be spending them. I will say the word of caution though with preservation is sometimes we do preserve ourselves to the point our wall is so high that we don't let people in. So do be aware or cautious of that too, Taurus, as it can go both ways. This is a reminder to preserve your energy, preserve your time, preserve your money. But again, we can preserve to the point where we shut everything out. And that can be kind of one of the warnings that comes with this preservation card. But let's see what we're working with for these next few weeks, taking us into the end of September. The first thing I see here is the Seven of Cups. When I see this card, it's busy. You see that there's something different in each of these cups, just plain and simple. It means that I see that you're going to have a busy next few weeks, Taurus, so do keep that in mind. The other thing with the Seven of Cups is this can be a little overwhelming. It can be hard to make a decision or hard to commit to something because there's so much going on. So do keep that in mind. Be clear, take time to process decisions, but it's like you could be trying to decide on one thing and there's just so many factors or there's so many decisions that need to be made. We're going to clarify this and see other information I can give you there. But I do see a busy next few weeks for you. In terms of preservation, definitely make sure you don't get caught up in this kind of chaos energy. Otherwise, you're going to have a chaotic next few weeks. The next card that we have is the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is a card of rivalry, obstacle, challenges. I like to describe the Five of Wands as small bumps in the road. And what I mean by that is if you take a look at this card, these people aren't fighting with swords. They're fighting with wands. So it's not major fights, but again, it's bumps in the road. And I'm not really like super surprised to see that because again, you kind of just have a lot going on and I see a lot of things coming at you. You're trying to sort through one thing and other things keep coming in. So definitely potentially some small bumps in the road, Taurus. The next card that we have is the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords, though, is very self-sufficient, and this is a good reminder. I feel like you need to hear this. There's nothing that you can't handle. There's nothing that's going to come your way, Taurus, that's going to be too much for you. You are completely capable, although it might be a little hectic. You got this. You truthfully got this, so keep that in mind. Very self-sufficient here. Another thing with the Queen of Swords, it's a card of honesty. So if you need help or need support, communicate your needs during this time and surely they will be answered for you. We're going to get some repeat action here with our Nine of Wands. Again, this is being clear about how we want to spend our energy. And what I'm getting to, Taurus, it's like you need to look at one thing at a time for these next few weeks going into the end of September. But this pairs really nicely with the preservation card too. Having boundaries, preserving our energy, staying focused. You can let the crazy swirl around you, but don't let it consume you. The next card that we have is the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is a card of low feelings. You see here we have the dark sky, the person is laying down flat. They have all of these swords stuck into them. There are going to be low feelings around some of the events that are happening, mostly because it is so busy. These small bumps in the road are going to be bothersome. Again, it's something you can't handle, but it's not going to be necessarily the easiest next few weeks. So you can anticipate some low feelings with the Ten of Swords. One of the messages that I'm getting to is like, you need to make sure you take a break after these next few weeks, Taurus. Give yourself a break from all the chaos that you've been sorting through. I'm not sure what exactly, Taurus, you guys are working through right now, but it's a lot, whatever it may be. So make sure you give yourself some downtime so you don't get to this point where you're feeling burnt out like we are in this Ten of Swords here. And at the bottom here, we have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is a good card. This is about moving from good to better. So through all of this chaos, through these crazy next week, it's still moving us forward. It may not feel like it all the times that you're taking steps forward, but you are, and it's moving you to a better place. I always like the Eight of Cups because if you look at this, these Eight of Cups are stacked nicely. Like, this is a good looking card, but yet the person in the background is still moving on and moving forward. And we're moving on to something better. So sort through the craziness these next few weeks to the best of your ability. Focus on one thing at a time. And again, you can let the craziness swirl around you, but just don't get consumed in it. Okay, Taurus, let's take a look now at our next column, which is anything related to money. So think job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have, anything that you associate with money. Our first card is the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is a card of giving or receiving help. It's a very generous card. It's interesting enough, I feel like you guys are supporting somebody else, potentially with some of this kind of chaos or craziness. However, this seems to be something coming in for you in terms of like a spot bonus or some sort of pay raise. Like, I feel this generosity, although you are putting generosity out in a lot of different areas, this card is saying generosity coming towards you. So it seems like you're going to be on the receiving end of some sort of gift. The next card that we have is the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is a card of anxiety, grief, depression, worry. I'm not sure that you're so worried about work as there's kind of angst around all things that are happening at this exact moment, Taurus. But do try and get your sleep. Don't let things keep you up at night. Again, remember to focus on one thing at a time. Process through, make decisions, take action, and just keep moving through the list because we're going to have a busy next few weeks. And that applies personal and work. Kind of chip away at one thing at a time. At the bottom here, we have the Four of Cups too. So this is another like money coming in reward. That's what that fourth cup is there. So there's going to be some sort of money coming in. And it's interesting because I feel like you almost have blinders on right now, Taurus. There's so much happening that you don't even see this Six of Pentacles or this Four of Cups, this reward, this acknowledgement coming in. So it's going to be really excited. But again, you're going to be getting rewarded this month. I do see money coming in. Let's see what else I've got here. So in terms of clarifying, our first clarifier is the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is very confident, very self-assured. We kind of already talked about this. We actually already had, maybe we didn't have the Queen of Wands. But anyways, regardless, you need to make sure that you go into this being very confident, being confident in your skills. Actually, I think I just told you that, like when we were talking in the last column, is the universe isn't going to give you anything you can't handle. You've got everything that's going on, Taurus. But the Queen of Wands echoes that message. This is about being confident. This is about being self-assured. Again, focus on one thing at a time. Know that it's tasks you can do. The universe is not going to give you anything that you can't handle. The next card that we have is the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is often a love card, but it is also a card of partnership. And what I'm going to tell you here is don't hesitate to reach out and ask for help or lean on somebody at work. If you have too many things on your to-do list, it does seem like there's a really good support system here that is available and willing to help you. Like, this isn't just like your coworker. This is somebody that genuinely cares about your success and is willing to help you with whatever's going on, Taurus. So that can help with some of this worry, some of this angst, some of this overwhelmed energy that we have with the Nine of Swords. And at the bottom here, we have the Five of Cups. Again, this is just kind of overwhelmed energy going into the end of this month. You're so, again, wrapped up in things that are happening that it's like we don't even see the Six of Pentacles gift coming in or the Four of Cups gift coming in. And it's not a bad thing, but it's just busy energy. It's a lot going on. So that's kind of echoing that. But again, there's going to be some positive, but it's going to kind of almost blindside you because there's so many other things that have your attention at the moment. Now, Taurus, let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to love. So think family, friends, relationship, children, whatever you associate with love. The first card that we have is the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is a card of patience, delayed success. It's a card of waiting. You see this person planted their pentacles and then they're sitting here waiting for them to grow. I do feel like there's some sort of family or friend activity possibly that you're wanting to do that you may not be able to do in the next few weeks, solely because you just have so many other things going on right now, Taurus. We're going to clarify that though. The next card that we have is the Eight of Cups. We just were talking about the Eight of Cups and how this is a really neat card. This can be a card of withdrawing. You could need like a day to yourself, Taurus, which I think, given what we've covered so far, would be beneficial. Maybe even like 15 minutes or 20 minutes to yourself. Go for a walk, sit in the bathtub, take time for yourself this month to kind of just check out. Don't hesitate to give yourself that space we were talking about in our first column. And this is also kind of how we mentioned that leveling up energy. We're moving from good to better in this relationship. So don't think that taking time for yourself is going to take away from your relationship. Don't worry about this thing that maybe got put on hold. This is still a very progressive, happy, healthy relationship. At the bottom here, we have the Queen of Wands. We were just talking about the Queen of Wands as well. Being confident, being self-assured. Again, waiting on this one thing is not going to affect anything, so I hope that you know that. That's what the Queen of Wands is telling us. And have confidence in this relationship and its stability and its health and its quality. All of this kind of craziness is going on, but it's not going to affect any of these relationships, family, friends, loved ones. Let's clarify though and see what other messages we've got here. The first card we have is the Emperor. The Emperor is a card of respect, leadership, strategic planning. This is a good relationship card. We have our Emperor and Empress and Kings and Queens on our throne. So I like to see this as, again, that big, strong, healthy, powerful relationships. These are also very respectful relationships. The Emperor is all about respect. So again, this waiting or having to skip this one thing or delaying this one thing is not going to change the relationship. The relationship's here for the long haul. It's committed, it's respectful, it's understanding. This could also be a card of fertility too. Anytime we have the Emperor or the Empress, those are fertility type cards. So definitely potential for fertility, and some of you could have been waiting for this. The Emperor is also a card of good parenting. So I feel like some of you are feeling like, oh, I'm missing this thing, or we're delaying this thing and it makes me a bad parent, and it's not. So keep that in mind. The Emperor is a card of being a wonderful parent for those of you that are parents. Again, this delayed, waiting, skipping does not affect that. The next card that we have is the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is typically a money card, but one of the meanings of this card is solo pleasures. And I just told you that same message when we read the Eight of Cups. It's that card of withdrawing, retreating, taking a little time for you. Again, that doesn't jeopardize your family, your children, your friends, your loved ones. You can have some you time and still have quality relationships. Go for that walk, go watch the movie, go to the spa, whatever it may be. Taurus, a little bit of you time seems to be important in our love column this month. And at the bottom here, we have the King of Swords. The King of Swords is, again, that very intentional, strategic, long-term, happy, healthy, lots of long-term, happy, healthy relationships. There's no real reason to question any relationships this month. We're very stable. We're experiencing unconditional love, friends, family, relationships. Okay, now let's move into our fifth and final column, which is a message from our future self or spirit guides. We have the card Fortitude. Fortitude is about having the ability to almost downplay events. It's not getting caught up in the little things. It's not being impacted by the little things. You kind of have to like look at everything as just like small and minor. So that Fortitude is that kind of overcoming energy. The first card that we have here is the Death card. The Death card definitely does not mean death, but it is an indicator of changes. It's very apparent there's a lot going on, so we're going through this transformation. There are so many moving parts right now, Taurus. You got to keep your head up and just keep kind of chugging through. We have the Ten of Swords again. Not surprised to see this again just because so many parts are moving. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you're not getting to this low place of feelings. And again, I can't say it enough. Kind of focus on that one thing at a time and continue to chip away at it. And at the bottom here, we have the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is a card of making a decision, but this is also a card of compromise, and you're kind of in this point of compromise, but it's because you're in the thick of everything that's happening. You're in the thick of this Death card, but it's not going to end up being a compromise. However, feelings of compromise could be coming through currently. The first clarifier we have is the Ten of Pentacles. This is a very long-term type card that can be related to large inheritance of money or large sums of money. But in general, this is like long-term. So it's like you're doing all of this right now to set yourself up for the future. And the storm is going to break and things will go back to being calm. So kind of just embrace this death, this journey that's happening at this exact moment. It's taking you to the right place long-term. We have our Five of Wands. Again, this is these small bumps in the road. You got to just keep rolling with them and don't get down. Fortitude is all about overcoming those obstacles. So just ride the bumps in the road, Taurus, and keep chugging this month. And at the very bottom here, we have the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is a very like freedom type card. It's new, it's fresh. I mean, this is going to lead to a new opportunity, an ability to be much more happy, much more free, much more creative. So again, what feels like compromise now is not actually compromise, Taurus. Okay, lots of information. At this time, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions using our Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quick. Question number 1 is the Four of Spades. This is number 49 card. That's going to be a no. Question number 2 is the King of Diamonds. This is number 15 card. That's going to be a yes. Oops. And question number 3 is the Jack of Clubs. This is number 45 card. That's also a yes. So no, yes, yes here. If you watched your video earlier this month, we did pull a card from our Healing Stones deck. Your crystal this month is Carmine. I could not think of a better crystal for you at this exact moment, Taurus. It's for protection, it's for relaxation, it helps protect you and relaxes mind, body, and spirit. You could use the support as you kind of go through these hectic few weeks. And then we're also going to pull a card from our Healing Notes deck. Your healing note says to be beautiful means to be yourself. You don't need to be accepted by others. You only need to be accepted by yourself. Thank you so much, Taurus, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, those subscriptions help me greatly. Also, I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. But thank you so much, Taurus, and I hope you have a wonderful September.